Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today I am here again. I've decided obviously that I want to do longer videos going forward, as well as my daily encouraging content. Every time I do the daily encouragement, I actually do it and upload it that day. I literally record it that evening, edit it and put it up. And that's because I want it to be consistent with what God is dealing with me about at that time. So, for example, yesterday I was speaking about offenses, and that's because that was something that was really close to home for me. So when I put out those encouragement videos, it's actually based on what God is speaking to me about. So I hope that it encourages you, and that's kind of how I find my inspiration for it. And I feel like God's speaking to me about it that time. I need to push it out there the same day, just so that the message is out there, basically. So I hope that you've been feeling encouraged by those. So for those that have been following me for a little while now, you would know that I have gone through a really challenging time this past year, and the devil has really attacked my marriage. And from that, I went on a journey with God. He drew me so much closer to him, got closer to him in prayer. I got closer to him just in so many ways, just in trusting in him. He set me free from so much, spoke to me so much, and dealt with me so much about myself in that time. Yeah, I've got a book coming out next week Friday. Next week, is it next week Friday? Yes, I've got a book coming out next week Friday. It's a devotional, and it's all about standing for marriage. So I just wanted to share with you today why I wrote this book, this devotional. And I haven't even, hold on a second, let me go and get it. So I wanted to share with you why I have written this devotional, Standing in the Gap, 40 Days of Intercession for Your Prodigal Spouse. It is inspired by the scripture, Ezekiel 22 verse 30. So I sought for a man among them who would make a wall and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. And obviously that scripture is a really heavy scripture because it speaks about intercession. When I was newly saved, I had somebody say to me that I was called to be an intercessor. Now, I don't know at the time whether they were just saying it in general, because I believe as Christians we are called to be intercessors. But I feel like there's times where God calls us to do that, like that is our mission in that season. And I've had a season of interceding. So I've had a season where I've had to intercede for my husband. Let me tell you, in that time, I encountered God in ways that I'd never encountered God before. So in the midst of the pain, the sorrow, feeling alone, sometimes feeling like your prayers are being unanswered, the tears, the nights crying out, this is the reality of it. But even in the midst of all of that, God showed up. He gave me dreams, he gave me words, like I'll show you. So this devotional came from my journaling in this book here. So if you look in this journal, I think I've shown it on one of my shorts before. If you can see, I've got all of these pages and pages of notes that I would make when God would get me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to pray to him. Sometimes I'd just be rebuking the devil, praying in tongues. Sometimes God would lead me to a scripture. No, literally, what am I saying? Like God would always lead me to a scripture, not just sometimes. And I would meditate on that scripture. I would study that scripture. I'll pray that scripture. And the scriptures were so relevant. It was like rhema words. It was so timely to what was happening in my personal situation at that time. Some of the things that God was speaking to me about over the process of me writing this journal, I have managed to compile in this devotional. The devotional has themes for each day. I'll show you the first part. We've got strength for the waiting. God brings life to dry places. Fixing our eyes on God. Strength in stillness. God gives good gifts. Diligently seek him. Claiming a new heart. Carry me. God values me. I am God's sheep. My sowing is not in vain. So there's all of these different themes for every day, 40 days. You can pray and fast with this. You can use it for your prayer time in the morning. If you're reading a devotional like this, the scriptures that I've put in there obviously are not always full chapters, but there are times where I will encourage you to read the full chapter. So you can use this alongside your daily reading, however you want to do it. And so anyway, on to my next point, what God has taught me throughout this stand. So God has taught me that I need to trust him even when I don't understand. God has taught me to walk by faith and not by sight. And I know that we say that, it's very cliche to say we walk by faith and not by sight, but I mean, sometimes what you are praying for in reality looks like the complete opposite. And I'm telling you, it was the complete opposite. Like, I was praying and I was thinking, what on earth is going on, God? I'm faithful to you. I've been living for you. I've been doing all of this. Why does it seem like everything is happening in the complete opposite? But guys, seriously, honestly, even when we can't see it, God is working. So we have to trust him even when we don't understand, because God doesn't sleep. We go to sleep and we're dead to the world. so to speak, as they say, when you're in a deep, when you're having a nice sleep, you're dead to the world. Like, you don't know what's going on around you. You're just asleep. Whereas God never sleeps nor slumbers. Like, he is always at work. And when you're going through things, it can be so hard to see that God is at work. But that is something that God has taught me and is still teaching me. Don't get me wrong. I am not perfect, guys. And God has taught me waiting. Oh my goodness. I am naturally not a patient person. I could say by nature we're impatient people. I have 3 children. Sometimes when I say that I'm going to do something, they want it now. And we're the same with God. Like, there was times where I'm like, God, why aren't you doing this now? Like, why are you delaying? Why are you, sometimes we delay our own situations through our attitudes, through our conduct, through those areas that God just wants to deal with. And sometimes it's actually just out of our control and it's down to another person. I don't think God doesn't delay without a reason. Everything that he does has a purpose. And that was really hard for me to stomach, because, when you're married and then you go from being married to being separated, and then you have a whole lot of responsibilities that you didn't have before, or they were shared, you can kind of think, God, why the delay? Like, that 2 is better than 1, because Lord, me being 1, you see what's happening. Thank God for you and, for grace, because you see how I'm managing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I couldn't manage on my own, but it was hard, like spending over 16 years having a partner, working together as a unit with your husband, and then all of a sudden it going from that to you having to function on your own, going from 2 to 1. There is going to be a noticeable difference. So obviously the waiting was hard. Waiting is still hard for me, in this new season that I've entered into, which I'll be able to speak about in the next coming months. I'm not going to speak about it just yet, but in the coming months I'll be speaking about the new season that I'm in now. And even this season, it's a waiting season. So don't think that when you come out of standing, everything's just going to be, oh, it's great, we just pick up where we left off. No, it doesn't work like that. So waiting is required throughout most seasons of life, actually. Healing, oh my goodness. Now, with the healing one, it's really funny, because actually sometimes you don't even realize you're healed until you go back to think about something, or you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't cried in like a week, or I've thought about this thing, and the sting that I used to feel when that ache that I used to feel is not there anymore. It's still a painful memory, but the ache that I used to feel when I thought about that is not there anymore. And those are those subtle moments where you feel like, actually, oh my days, God is healing me. But it's hard to put your finger on, because God does it in a way where sometimes it's only when you look back you realize, oh, I'm healed from this. This is not affecting me the way that it used to affect me. So I think healing is it's a beautiful thing, because it helps you to be able to look back on painful situations and not look back on it feeling the same pains. I thank God for his healing. That's something else that God's taught me. Surrender. Oh my goodness, surrender. I'm sorry, I'm saying oh my goodness for everything. God has taught me to surrender to him. By nature, I like to control situations. I like to control outcomes. I didn't like not being in control. A situation like this, you're not in control. You can't control somebody else's feelings, somebody else's actions. So when you're going through a situation like this, you can feel completely out of control. But oh my goodness, like I had to surrender to God, because who else am I going to surrender to? I can't surrender to my husband. And that will be idolatry anyway. I have to surrender to my God, my Father in heaven, who has my best interests at heart. I surrender to Christ. And when I tell you, surrender is hard. Sometimes I have wanted to quit. That's why when I wrote this devotional, I did put in the introduction, I just said, like, this isn't for everybody. And I'm going to be real with you. This isn't for everybody. Because there's some people that don't want to walk this journey, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, and I feel like you really have to surrender. My will be, I'm just going to move on with my life. Like, God will bless me again. God will bring healing and look after me. And we can look at things through that lens, and that's perfectly okay, depending on the separation and things like that. Covenant may have been broken, so I can see why people would come to that conclusion. But for myself, even though I wrestled with it so much, I knew that God called me to stand. Like, he spoke to me. Like, I knew. I'm going back to the journal because it's coming out next week. Every single scripture that is in here is something that God gave to me during my period of waiting. He was speaking to me daily. He's still speaking to me, but he was speaking to me throughout this season, and it's very specific to what was happening in my life. So I encourage you, like, if you're going through a period of separation, I encourage you to get this devotional and read it. Honestly, it's God inspired, and I'm not saying that because I wrote it, but I'm saying it because it's inspired by God. Honestly, it's not me, it's not my giftings, my talents. I am not a writer. This has been a part of surrender for me. Stepping out of my comfort zone. I love to create and be in front of the camera, but in this kind of aspect, talking about my marriage, it's not something that I would really want to put out there without clearly hearing from God, because I feel like it's a very sensitive subject. So surrender has been something that I've really had to learn throughout this period of time. And also God's faithfulness, that even when things don't look the way that we expect them to look, God is still faithful. God still looks after me. He has been blessing me financially. He has opened doors for me. He's given me favor. God has been so faithful. So faithful. Even in my unfaithfulness, you know. Me and my friend laugh about it. My bipolar Christianity, you know. Sometimes I feel like a bipolar Christian. One day I'm up, next day I'm down. And should we be living our Christian life like that? Not really. But do you know what? I feel like as long as we are spending time with God every day, we are being intentional. We're not expected to be perfect, but that's the whole point of us needing Jesus and reaching out to him. I don't know if I'm making sense here. I hope I'm ministering to somebody. Anyway, so 1 was the reality, 2 was what God taught me, and now why the devotional exists. Okay, I realized I can't be the only person going through this, and in me searching YouTube, listening to other people that have gone through this situation, and it's been a real encouragement. Some of the channels that I've been following, actually I'll link them somehow into my description so that you can follow some other channels that have been a real encouragement for me during my time of standing. And yeah, I just realized that this can't only be affecting me, and when I've looked through the comments of other people's videos where they've been talking about standing, there have been hundreds, thousands of people in the same situation. The circumstances may be slightly different and may vary from family to family, but literally the patterns are the same. There's nothing new under the sun. The devil has old tricks. He doesn't have anything new to throw at us. As I started writing down these scriptures, prayers, they were helping me to survive the season that I was in. And I really, really believe and pray that these words, the scriptures, the prayers will be an encouragement for you in your season of standing. I don't know who this video is going to reach, but I really hope that it reaches some people that are in need of encouragement, because this thing works. Like, God is real, and he really does care and honor covenant. What I want to be encouraging you about is standing for marriage restoration, because it works, guys. I cannot tell you enough. It works. If you are losing hope, please hold on to Jesus. Nothing is too hard for him. Nothing is too big for him. Okay, I've rambled enough, guys. Let me know what you want to see in the next video. Do you want to hear more about the devotional? Do you want to hear more about my testimony? What do you want to hear, guys? Let me know in the comments below. How has this video helped you? Has it encouraged you to go out and get the devotional? Has it encouraged you to stand for your marriage, for restoration of that covenant that God has placed you in? Remember, you and your spouse stood before God and made a covenant and agreement, as God did with the children of Israel. He never left them. They left him many times. Like, they were back and forth, you know. God never divorced them. He never left them. They left him. Yeah. But God's heart is always for reconciliation. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. God's heart is always to reconcile. And I just want to leave you with that today. God's heart is always to reconcile. If you don't get anything else from this video, I want you to hear that. God's heart is always to reconcile. I hope this video encouraged you. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me for more content. And I don't just do marriage content. I'm a bit of an all-rounder. So stay tuned to see what I'm going to be coming up with next. Thanks for watching. Bye.